Me and Jay Gholson, those guys, man, they love us.
We have the ratings. Like this, this is what I was telling Kirk earlier today. Like, I wouldn't want to mix you with Larry Rubamba. Not that Larry, wouldn't talk like that off camera, but we try to respect his position. But with us, like, we are the barbershop.
Right. Right.
All right. Let's do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, this is Kirk Hilliard.
And this is Rusty Bird. It's the Kirk and Bird Show. Kirk, go ahead, man. Say it, bro.
No, I said I was the white shadow, but I usually only say like 3, so that threw them off. But it's
all good. You are the white shadow.
You absolutely are.
And I'm the Black Panther, and these are the Wakandans.
This is the Soul Train Hollywood Scares. That's what it is, man. All right. Rusty,
man, thank you, Kirk. Man, Kirk, we everybody's cool with this. We got this, yeah. So look, y'all, we got barbershop talk here, man. But we got experts. We don't just have, the dudes that come in the barbershop and I'm sorry, let me do it this way. The dudes on Facebook that ain't never played beyond like 5th grade or even if they did, they have no clue. Like, I got experts here. I got ballers. All right. So I got Anthony Robinson, All-State, Superman from Phoebus, and I got Jay Gholson, Mr. Potomac, Prince William County guru, the godfather of Prince William County sports, and the voice of freedom basketball and football. Welcome to the show, guys.
What's going on, fellas?
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Look, man. So I was just getting on Kirk about is, man, like, we do the professional interviews. We're gonna have some journalists on maybe later in the week, guys, columnists and all that. But this is the barbershop right here.
Yeah, we let our hair down here, man.
There we go. Kirk, you need to be like the brothers, man.
I'm the only one
hair down, baby.
Yeah,
give me a fade.
Yeah.
Y'all got fade, all right.
Jay Gholson is from Northern Virginia, but he went to an HBCU. So Virginia Union. Woo! All right, so look, let's get into first. Let's start out because let me tell y'all, first of all, let me give some love to the fans, both from the 703 Prince William County and 757, my hometown, where I'm extremely proud of what we do. Look, the fans came out on both sides. I don't let people try to trick you and say it was a great turnout. And we had love from both sides. Like, the 757 people came up, said hello, said they like what we're doing. I don't know about you, Jay, if you saw any Western Branch people, but I got a chance to talk to a couple. And then my freedom folks, man, I've been seeing y'all for years, but just y'all saying, hey, it's funny. People are coming up to me saying, yeah, you predicted that score. Or you said, I'm watching the show tomorrow. Man, it was like we had love in the house. So I just want to reinforce that I know what I'm talking about and Kirk doesn't. From there, let's go. Kirk, tell us where they can subscribe.
Yeah, it's the Kirk and Bird Show on YouTube. We're on Twitter. So, the athletes are big on Twitter, and we're getting more followers at the Kirk and Bird. Not enough characters to put show, but I just wanted to add, Rusty, is that for Nova folks, all right, we are going to have information on Kettle Run. We're going to a couple of journalists that knows Kettle Run, and then I know the folks over at Madison. We haven't been. We're going to get a couple journalists with those guys too. They know we're going to talk about the Madison Fairfax game and Madison's game with
Freedom
on Saturday, which is the later game, and y'all get to play in the dark. So yeah, we just wanted to put that out there. Thank you for supporting us, and just try to subscribe. But
hey, man, hit that subscribe, man. That's the only place you're gonna get to see me and Jay Gholson, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, and let me just say this. Right now, we do this for the love of it, no doubt. No doubt. We like we don't need to get paid. In fact, we pay a lot to do this. But let me say, my brother called me today. He was watching the episode he was on yesterday with my nephew, the Cub reporter, Blake Bird. And he said, Rusty, I paused it because I had to go do something. When I came back, they were running a commercial during your episode.
Were they really?
And I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
They supposed to start, YouTube supposed to start kicking
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
NIL, baby, NIL.
There we go.
You know,
so
it was
look,
a,
the more, if we can get that next 275 people to sign up, I might be able to break off Rob a little something. Yeah. I might be able to get Jay to finally pay us for promoting his real estate business.
You gotta
tell us, have you got more customers because of us or less?
Yeah, he's making the money. No. Hey, ask Melendez if it was a Soul Glow commercial with Eric LaSalle from Coming to America, because we're the barbershop and you ain't got no hair. So
hey, listen, I tell you this much. I know my people from Maury, they loved my prediction.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I seen it all on the Instagram. They tagged me. I got a couple new followers from Maury.
They're complaining. Yeah, the Maury folks are complaining. And Green Run complained too, because we didn't dig deep into those. But
wow.
So let's talk about a great game. Freedom made a statement, and they did what they've done all year. Great game. Jay was the MC, and Rusty, you were there. So we're going to talk about Freedom and Madison. And by the way, like I said, Madison, James Madison High School, 11-game winning streak. We're going to have a couple people on that know you guys really well. But why don't we go through the game, and then we'll go through the game on Saturday at ODU with Madison. So, Rusty, we'll let you go, and then we'll let Jay, the voice of Freedom
Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles.
So a couple of things stand out to me. I was in the press box, so I was there with Jay as usual. But we also, this time we had the actual VHSL announcers that were calling the game, online right beside us. We had some media folks, Dave Fawcett. We had, and of course, we had some other folks in there, other media folks, but we were in there with the Freedom coaching staff, so we can hear and know kind of what they're doing and thinking. But that was just a great experience to be there at that level and kind of see how some of the stuff goes. I will tell you this, man, it was a great atmosphere, and I kind of I felt bad for my 757 folks, but because I love where I'm from, man, but I also felt a little vindicated in that I was just trying to say, I'm proud of where I'm from. But like Dwight Vick says, sometimes we got to be realistic. This could just be a special team. And the other thing,
it is a special team. It is.
So those that don't know, Freedom has been beating playoff teams. They've been putting 70 points up on playoff teams, not just in the playoffs, but if you look back at their schedule, they've played a number of really good teams that made the playoffs and was routinely putting up 60 and 70. And what I tried to point out in that game is everything was so funny when Colgan got 100 put up on them. But if you're a playoff team and you talk all that smack, you can't let somebody put 70 on you and have 3 touchdowns called back. So that stood out to me. But those who don't know, Freedom scored 7 touchdowns on 10 possessions. They also had 3 touchdowns called back. Western Branch scored 1 touchdown, and it looked like they had a plan you know what, we're going to let that clock run. And I will give them credit because that's something Colgan did not do. We just threw the ball in the dirt or we threw an interception. Western Branch worked that clock, didn't they, Jay?
Yes.
That first quarter, and they scored, and at one point, I think it was 14-7 or 21-7. I was like, okay, even us in the booth were like, okay, they got a strategy. That was their only score on the defense. The other one was the kickoff return to start the second half.
Was there a running clock in the second half?
Second half started with a running clock. Yep.
Let me add this. First off, Western Branch, that wide receiver, I think Paul Phipps Jr., number 1.
He's a big recruit. Yeah.
Yeah. UNC recruit.
Carolina. It's
is
Billups,
a
isn't it?
baller.
Billups?
Huh?
Yeah.
I can't stand when I don't know the names, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's Paul
Billups.
Phipps. Yeah, or Phillips. Yeah, yeah,
Paul Billups. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Paul.
He is a Division I talent. I mean, he
Oh.
caught one pass. He had two Freedom defenders covering him. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how he did it, but he caught the ball, took the ball from the DB in the end zone, touchdown. He has my vote for All-State.
Yeah.
And number two, this guy for Freedom. I mean, I said his name all year long. I know you're tired of hearing his name, but TJ Bush had 8 tackles, almost 3 sacks, 2.5 sacks, and 4 tackles for losses. They couldn't block him.
Yeah.
They could not block him. And in my opinion, TJ should be a player of the year for the state.
TJ's going to be a
defensive player of the year.
He's going to
Yeah,
be
player
a
of the year. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
They're getting a good
Robertson
one.
did very well. Tristan Evans, quarterback, set a new record, 55 touchdown passes.
What was he, 9 for 9? Something like that?
He was
Yeah.
perfect.
That's crazy.
The backup even threw a touchdown.
Now, hey, let me say this, guys, right now. His backup, Caleb Tucker, has an arm.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw the ball 50 yards, perfect spiral.
But Tristan
Touchdown,
is
but it's called back.
Tristan's a junior.
Tristan's a junior, so they are
This guy's
another
a
kid on the team.
freshman.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
guy's
wow.
a freshman.
All right. So obviously,
So let me just say, hold on, Kirk, I'm gonna let you go, but I just want to say, Rob, can you tell us a little bit, because you saw Western Branch throughout the year, and maybe this just wasn't a good representation. What were your thoughts before the game? What did you think they would need to do? And what did you see from them all year? Because I'm sure their fans were shocked.
Like you said, what they tried to do in the first quarter, I thought that was the type of game plan they was gonna have to do was, try to control the clock and limit that offense from being on the field. But you got to get first downs. You have to make catches. Players have to be players, and really, it's about the trenches. I think they skills match.
Yes.
The Billups, Frazier, Trotman, Blizzard. I think their skills match Freedom, but then it comes down to the trenches. Can you block? Are you able to perform for those guys? And obviously, it just wasn't enough. And once that train get to rolling, you can't stop it. So I thought I thought the defense will be able to play a little better and get more stops. But I mean, 900 and what they got, 907, something like that.
Yeah, total yards. Yeah.
That's you don't want to see us dance and keep us out the end zone.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
But shout out to Freedom, man. You guys have had a great season, man. You guys are living up to, whatever the hype is. People might call it hype. It's the real deal. I've coached on some of the great teams, 2008 Phantoms, and we, 9 shutouts, 53 points given up.
Woo!
753 points. Defense scored 13 touchdowns themselves. Like we've done longest winning streak, things like that. So that's awesome, man. Shout outs to Freedom Eagles.
Well, I was going to say that a win where they're going to be favored, and we'll segue. A win on Saturday probably makes them one of the top 10 teams in the history of the state. And then
Absolutely.
James Madison, if you're tuning in, nobody's talking about James Madison. That's a team with an 11-game winning streak. It's a strong physical team. They actually came out and punched Booker T. Sorry.
Fairfax. An undefeated Fairfax.
Oscar Smith last year, they punched him in the face, and they're better this year. So, yeah, they
only played one.
They didn't punch Oscar Smith. They tricked Oscar Smith.
Well, they
only played
and they struck.
They didn't punch him. They pulled the rug, and then once they got the rug back, it was a wrap.
But they are a very physical team, and I think that
this. They only played one team outside of the county, which was Stonebridge. Stonebridge beat them. Freedom beat Stonebridge by 20 points. So Freedom on Saturday, all day long.
Yeah, well, Stonebridge is probably one of the best 3-4 teams in the state. Well, I'd rank them 3 or 4, but. Madison, they've got a lot to think about because they beat a very good Fairfax team that's got some great players, and it was a packed house, and then nobody was picking them, and nobody's picking them this weekend. And they've got
Who did Fairfax play? Really? Who did they play outside of Fairfax? I mean, let's be honest.
Hold on? Who's Freedom play?
Riverbed.
No, Freedom.
Stonebridge.
That's it.
No.
John Champ.
Come on, man.
Patriot.
You compared.
Patriot.
I know, but I'm just.
They had look. Again, you may want to criticize the Cardinal District, but clearly the Cardinal District isn't that bad. If the Southeastern District,
district, it's a good district.
My view on when people say things like that is you look at how they beat them, right? Right? Do you let them hang around and you know whatever? Like you guys did what you were supposed to do to those teams.
All right.
You beat Colgan. You put those numbers up on them because you're supposed to. Like, so that's not your fault that you have to play that, that schedule. I mean, we look at our district. Our lowest score was 21. Ward was the second game of the season, 25. We beat everybody else by 40, 50 points.
All right. So what I'll put in is that, we know all about Freedom. So what I want to do is just spend maybe a minute or two with Jay and Rusty talking about what your opinion Madison needs to do. And I don't care how good Freedom is. Every team has a weakness. So with that being said, we'll transition because we want to give the Madison folks something. Is that we know Jeff Overton is going to be a national player. He's going to play, barring injury, major college. Tristan Evans, great defense. But you guys, if you were James Madison, big physical team, what would you do to try to stop? I mean, I know what Stonebridge needed to do against Highland Springs, and they didn't do it. Great team. So what does James Madison of Vienna need to do to beat? And that's not going to do. They need to play a perfect game. Okay.
No.
If I were Madison, I would watch the Freedom Stonebridge game from last year.
Okay.
And run that type of offense where it kind of basically you have to be good at the running game. You have to slow the game down. Madison does. And then if you go, pass for pass with Freedom, you're going to lose.
When you say last year, are you talking about this fall or
no? They played Freedom played at Stonebridge last year.
That's the game we were
by like 1 point or something.
Yeah. Well, they weren't a passing team; they were just run. They didn't have Tristan and I don't.
Yes, they did.
No, they were last year. Oh yeah,
the quarterback Davis, right? Like Davis was a beast. He's at Kennesaw State now. I coached him in track and coached against him in football for years. Davis was a beast. Like
no, they had a lot of speed. That's when they were Stonebridge, they had a lot of speed. And I remember I was sitting in the stands and I told you, this is neck and neck. I don't know. It's going to come down to the end. And then Stonebridge pulled away. But Freedom is a very, very fast athletic team, man. That one of the fastest teams I've seen in Nova. So you're saying shut down the run. So if they shut down the run,
just like in basketball, 1983, NC State played Houston. What did they do? They slowed the game down. Yep. The five data slam, what we call them, I forgot who they were.
Jam slam.
Yeah. Same thing there. When you take big teams like Houston in basketball that year, or Freedom, but it's direct to run, you have to slow them down.
Right.
You can't run. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to win. Battlefield last year against Freedom, it slowed the game down. So if I were Madison, that's what I would do. Watch those two films, Battlefield last year and the game against Stonebridge last year.
Okay.
So for our viewers, I've seen Madison over the last couple of years. We went to see him play Westfield last year, a kid I coached for a number of years. Travis Allen started at defensive back for them. And let me tell you this, what people don't realize is there are some good teams in Fairfax County, and specifically, no, hold on, Jay. Specifically, their district has traditionally been tough. Now, it may be down this year, but a lot of us thought Centerville was going to be much better. Westfield, did start out doing pretty well, but let me just say this. So we're looking at Madison, and you look at their record. They have the first 3 games, but they lost those 3 games by a total of 7 points to 3 teams that made the playoffs. And let me tell you, they lost over 20 seniors from last year, 20 seniors that contributed. They lost those kids. So, of course, it took them a while to figure it out. But let me tell you this, having coached against them for years, they do a great job with the youth football program out there.
That's the key.
Man, I am telling you, they have the same uniforms.
Yeah.
Those kids are running the system. We play like the championship game at Madison, like Vienna, and they played there at that home field on the weekends. Like those kids grow up doing, I'm gonna either play for Madison or Oakton, whoever's good those years, but most of the better players go to Madison. And it's a little bit like PME kids going to Freedom.
Yeah.
And let me say this.
I played against those. I coached against those PME kids down here, Shutdown.
Oh yeah.
Like I know Overton and them guys. Like we brought our kids up a couple years ago to up there to PME and had a 7-on-7 lineman camp. And yeah, we smoked them PME kids in that.
Okay. So let me say this.
But those kids didn't go to Western Branch, so that I guess that's why they should have went to Western Branch.
So let me just say this again. I know we're gonna move on, Kirk.
That's cool.
People, and I will say this is true. Madison is like a lot of Fairfax teams. They are extremely well coached, very well coached. They're disciplined. They'll have an outstanding game plan.
Yeah.
But what I don't want anyone to misunderstand, Freedom's coaches can coach their tail off. Like
Absolutely.
It's not just a bunch of athletes. I am telling you, I've talked to Daryl, I've talked to but I sit in the booth and I hear what they're saying. Like they are calling touchdowns before they happen because they're prepared. Right. They know how the other team has adjusted, and Freedom's coaches can straight coach.
No, yeah.
Don't let nobody fool
you, man. He does a good job. I respect Jeff and the coaching staff at Freedom.
Having said that,
what Overton can do too. And he said this to me one time. Overton and his staff will at any point say, "You take my kids, and I'll take your kids, and I'll still beat you."
All right. So
I will say,
hold on. Coach Counts at Madison. Show this to your team. Maybe this clip. I'm picking Freedom 56-10. There you go. 56-10. You're going to hold them under 60, which is an accomplishment. Now, if they happen to win, this is a Hercules. This is Chaminade UVA, or this is NC State. Villanova Georgetown was a big one too. So we'll see how big.
However, let's be honest here. Okay. Madison does have more experience playing a state championship game than Freedom does.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
this group of kids.
Yeah. These kids right
because
here.
They both were there within the last 5 years.
They've been to ODU. They know the routine.
Okay.
Seems to be new at this atmosphere.
Okay.
So I'm thinking more so of 42-15 Freedom.
Okay. There you go. Big Rob.
How many points y'all need for 1,000?
There you go.
Whoa.
I mean, you're at 900 now, right?
Yeah.
Y'all need about 95?
Yeah.
I think they and if they would try to get it. I would not count them out.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm going Freedom 72-0.
Woo!
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. And let me say this:
a statement game, state final game for Phoebus, for Oscar Smith, for Western Branch, for Dinwiddie, for Highland Springs, for the 96 Crabbers.
Yeah, that's it. The Crabbers.
This is a statement game that let everybody know. This is the .com for you guys. I got you guys winning big, man. I got you guys winning big.
Jay, voice of freedom. Who you got?
Well, I said it. I'll say it again.
Well, that's right. You said
he said 42-15.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Rob said
72 zip.
All right, Rusty.
Yeah, I feel like I was going to say 70, but I don't think Madison is they're going to probably try to keep Freedom under 40 in the first half and then that second half you got to run the clock. It's just going to be a little harder. So okay. I initially thought 70 something. It's just the run the clock. You can't do nothing about it. So I think the score will be 60-7.
Okay. All right. So another one here. We picked on average a final outcome to be 32 divided by 4 is 8. James Madison. I'm doing the other number in my head. James Madison 8, and then we got 230 divided by 4, which is what 115 and half of 115. So it's 63-8 is our average. And I'll say this before we go to Phoebus. Spread is 35 points, and 70 is the over under. There we go. All right. Phoebus, Phantoms. All right. Big game, Heritage. I'll be there. If you want an autograph, talk to my bodyguard, Virgil Richardson. Yeah, I'm taking my plane down there. But anyway, so Phoebus has got a game with Heritage. It's going to be maybe interesting because Heritage, I know, Rob, you've been watching film, but, Nolan James, great, unbelievable quarterback. Broke his lower leg on the game against.
He broke a bone he broke something in his leg. He didn't break his leg, but he has a bone somewhere in that leg that's broken. So
okay, so I got it. Still, he's out. So right. And that's and we've got Jaden Early replacing him, who's a senior, who's experienced, who's got a lot of reps. But so for let's just talk about. Go ahead.
Can I ask you something though, Rob? Because a lot of teams, like Freedom, didn't play a lot of backups until very late. You guys had a lot of big victories. Were you giving some of those backups that time and experience? Like, were they getting more than like a running clock in the fourth quarter?
We played. Early played some. Our second and third string quarterbacks played some. Nolan James actually didn't play. I think one or two games this year. Like the Gloucester game, he didn't play. And that was only a half. And then I think he didn't play in another game. But so we've actually played early at quarterback. A lot of guys have played. So yeah. Okay. He's prepared. This kid has been, he's been in our program pretty much his whole career. Early has, and he was a quarterback with Tyrion Taylor and Jordan Bass for the last 8th, 9th, 10th grade when they played together. So it's camaraderie there, and the kids are ready to play. That game against Brentsville, he came in and we didn't miss a beat. I want to say he threw 3 touchdown passes, maybe 2-3 touchdown passes, 2 to Bass. I know 2 to Bass for sure, but we didn't miss a beat. Tyrion Taylor came in, rushed for about $132, 2 touchdowns. The defense, they still held it down. We won 58-14. So shout out to Brentsville. The great season they had, and I can't remember the kid's name, number 11 for Brentsville.
Will Johnson. What's up, Will?
Will Johnson. He was all over the field, man. He was making plays. Even the running back 49 had a good run in the first quarter. I don't know. I can't remember his name.
Nico.
Okay.
Nico Orlando.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to those kids, man. They play hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. They play hard, but once that's like we were talking about Western Branch, Western Branch Freedom. Once that train get rolling, it's kind of hard to stop teams that are good like that. So, we're ready for next week. Like you said, Kirk, we got Heritage of Lynchburg. They beat us in 2018 in the state championship. That was Coach Blunt's first appearance in the championship.
Home game for him.
Yep. This is his third in 5 years. This is his third appearance in 5 years. Wow. This is the 20th anniversary of the first back-to-back. Wow. So it's a lot, man. It's Nolan James is out. Tyrion Taylor. It's a lot of those guys' last game together. They've had a remarkable year. They've been playing well and just ready to show people why we call ourselves the P.
So if Heritage stacks the box and tries to take away the run and they make Jaden Early throw, what's it going to look like?
It's gonna look like how a basketball team start the game off with a lob play to get the crowd going.
Okay.
You run that backdoor lob, and that's what. If you want to stack the box, we'll just throw the jump ball to Earl.
No, I haven't seen Heritage. No disrespect meant, but if Jordan Bass made the Oscar Smith DBs look that bad and safeties, like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a specimen. I mean, we got speed on the edge. Keontae Gray can't really run with him. He ran a kickoff back in the game, 80-yard return in the game this past weekend. Tayshawn Stevenson, 88, my boy,
Trey
Reddick. Trey Reddick. You know, we still have weapons, man. So
Caleb Tillery, it's a loaded team, man.
Yeah.
The whole offensive line's coming back.
It's so many, man. It blows my mind.
But nobody's picking Heritage. Heritage, we've already talked about. We've got you said on film, Terrell Washington, fullback defensive tackle, stands out. Really good quarterback. Yeah, really good quarterback. Hub Bateman, number 9.
Yeah.
Marcus White's a very good wide receiver. And I think it's Rahan Booker, number 21. So, and they beat they beat some good teams.
They beat Liberty Christian.
Yep.
Liberty Christian. Yeah, they beat Liberty.
They beat them when it counted. They lost to them in a close one in the season, but they beat them when it counted. They also have played a Dinwiddie earlier in the year. I know they lost 49-7, but hey, you've got when you like Jay said, when you look at their team schedule, man, they've played some.
They beat Glass.
Yeah, they beat Glass, so they have some competition on their schedule that they've played, and we'll see. We'll see.
So without having seen Heritage of Lynchburg, I would just say this: they beat a lot of teams, right? They're 12-2. But what stands out to me is, and they've blown out some teams that I think probably just aren't that good. I don't know if this is an advantage or not, but they've played a lot of close games and won them. And so if they're able to keep it close, does Phoebus go into a panic mode? And I'm saying in the second half, because they haven't been there before. Clearly, Heritage has had some of that experience. And I don't know if that's an advantage. And they're the underdog. Like, they might be like, we just have nothing to lose.
Right.
Does Phoebus, if things aren't clicking early, and maybe it's because of the quarterback or because of whatever, does Phoebus not having much of any real test, does that hurt Phoebus?
Coach Blunt and his staff does a great job. They do a great job during the week preparing the kids for whatever it is. We've had a lot of adversity. We had players not play. We got players hurt some weeks. So I think Coach Blunt will have them mentally prepared for whatever comes about. So yeah, they'll be fine.
Well, Rusty, the other thing is that they played a tight game last year at Liberty. It got tight in the end, and they had to have an interception to close it. So they do have that, and they have the experience. I just think that, if I was Heritage, I would try to take out the edges. I'd run between the tackles. They've got this kid, Terrell Washington, and Boozy is a great runner. When he's running in the athleticism of Phoebus, but
who are you saying run between the tackles, Phoebus or Heritage?
Phoebus. I would make Phoebus.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Heritage. It ain't gonna work.
I would take out the edge. And, I would play something like a 6-man front, one linebacker, 2 safeties. And then, of course, Phoebus has a lot of formations, a lot of weapons, because if they're able to take Jordan Bass out, which nobody can, but if they're able to, that opens up a lot, because you got that safety going away from the play, the corner going away from the play. It takes one side of the field, but
and the quarterback doesn't have to throw 60-yard touchdowns like that. I've seen Phoebus; he can just throw a screen. Right. Magic can happen.
Jordan Bass took an 84-yard screen, a screen 84 yards against Lake Taylor, or I think it was Lake Taylor, 84 yards. So, like you just said, he can take a screen a distance. We can, we've got a lot of everybody talk about Bass, but the roster's loaded.
Yeah,
the roster's loaded.
No doubt. Yeah. So have we given our predictions for this game scores?
And
I'll go
also, we're the only team that's returning as a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
In the divisions that we're looking at, because I think
Riverheads, Division One.
Oh yeah,
Division One. I think they're returning.
That's a great program.
Like 8, so yeah, or 7.
We got to get somebody from the Augusta Free Press because they're out of Stanton. I don't say Staunton, Stanton, and but the Augusta, that's Augusta County. So I'll get in touch with the Augusta Free Press.
Yeah, my bad. River, was it Riverhead, Riverbend? What are they?
Riverheads. Riverbend is in
Fredericksburg.
Yeah. So
my bad, Riverhead. My bad.
Rob trying to bully y'all. He needs y'all. But Rob trying to say it don't matter anyway because Phoebus will beat y'all.
Hey, I didn't say it, people. I didn't say it. American Rusty Bird said it. So
he didn't say that. My favorite all-time Class 1 team is Surrey County. 75-7. My people from Surrey. All my people from Surrey.
Yeah.
All right. I'll make a prediction. I'm going to say 49-17 Phoebus. And I am going to do a spread of 27 points and over and under 69. That's my prediction. I think Coach Blunt, once it's in the bag, he's going to let a lot of kids play. Hopefully, I know he's brought some kids up from JV, give them an opportunity to participate in a state game. You're not going to see Coach Blunt, blow it up 77-0. They don't have anything to prove. So there you go.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Dinwiddie plays after us, and we go to 4A, so we might give 4A a little show.
Yeah, show them what they can do.
Yeah. All right.
No, you said what? What'd you say, Kurt?
I said 49-17 Phantoms.
I'm gonna go 35-9.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 42-20 Phoebus.
Wow, that's pretty close.
That's kind of where I was looking, Jay.
All right.
But I think I'm going to go 52-17. I got both teams.
Y'all do know nobody on the defense is hurt now.
You know what, Rob? People can score on special teams.
Yeah.
We did give up two opening kickoffs. So
that's what Freedom gave up early in the playoffs. I mean, and even actually Saturday, they've given up 4 kickoff returns, right, Jay?
Yeah.
All right, so that's basically average the 4 of us 45 to about 13, rough math. So Heritage, there's your bulletin board material. Phoebus has got a bus ride. Y'all went the night before last time. I don't know if you could say.
I'm sure we'll probably go up early again. Right. We got the noon game, so.
All right. All right. So everybody made their predictions. I just wanted to point something out. Phoebus is looking, I believe, for their 10th title and ninth. Ninth in
out of 10.
21.
Yep, 21, 2001 to 22. That's 21 seasons.
So I wanted to point this out.
That's on average of every other year now.
Right. So here's the thing. 7 championships in 11 years, and many argue that should be 9 or 10 or 11. I don't think that'll ever be beaten. And here's the thing. Jeff Overton, Daryl Overton, Coach Overton, he's younger, sorry. He's a young guy. But I would say this. Hampton in the 80s, 80 to 89, won 5. All right. But they didn't do 7.
No, but Kirk, if you go over a 20-year period, Hampton over the 22-year period, they probably would have more than 8. Because if you go for
no, I'm saying
if you
the
go
7 and 11,
6,
right? The 7 and 11, the 7 and 11, I don't think will ever be beat. I just put that out there. 7 titles in 11 years.
Oh, you're saying within an 11-year span,
right? So this is the 21st year.
Highland Springs. If we just go back a little bit,
right now,
Highland Springs, and I'm not saying the earlier ones, but if Highland Springs goes back to 2015 and we add 11, they still got to 26. All right. So they've gotten 4 since, how many did they get since 2014? They've gotten 4 because they lost in 19. So they got 4.
They can beat it, Rusty. If they win the next 4, they could do 8 in 11 years. I predict they won't. There's for the Springers, our buddy.
It might get easier for them in Class 6. I'll say that too.
No.
Ooh.
Outside of
it does.
100%.
100%.
We've all acknowledged 5 is probably the
man. 5 is
class, top to bottom in the state.
5 is loaded.
Jay Gholson, the disrespect.
I know.
No, I'm just saying, like, outside of Freedom, because of what Freedom has going right now, who else do you think? And Oscar Smith might say disrespect, but who do you think's going to give Highland Spring a challenge?
I mean, going off of right now, I couldn't tell you a team, but trust me, don't count out nobody from the 757. Well, don't.
It's still bad news for Division 6 because half of Division 6 is up here. So
right.
because all the big schools are up here, and 5 is unbelievable. Even with Highland Springs leaving, Mountain View, Stonebridge,
right.
You've got.
But ho, let me tell you, I think 5 is the toughest, but the class I think is second toughest is 4. And y'all are going to 4 because they got King George.
I agree.
Class 4 got ballers, dog. So
yes,
and I'm not saying y'all could go there and still be the class of Class 4, but you look at the final 8 that made this Class 4, and that was without y'all. So next year, it's just going to be loaded.
That's why Mountain View will be Division 6 next year.
Ooh.
Okay.
They've got the top player in the
so
state.
6 is going to get a little tougher.
Oh, yeah.
The linebacker. So we did this last night.
Brentsville. Class 3 is opening up.
That's right. Phoebus is gone, Brentsville. There you go. So at roughly 41 minutes, let's close with this. We teased last night.
We want to do the same one.
We want you guys to do the top 4 high school football teams in the history of Virginia. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to stay consistent. I went Hampton 96, maybe the best public school team ever. And I went Phoebus 08. And then I went Phoebus 02. And I went Hampton 1975. And then I think you got to give, Freedom honorable mention and a bunch of other teams. So that's it. I got Hampton. I got Phoebus 08, Phoebus 02, which is the second championship. Xavier Adibi.
Yeah, I was on that team. That was my junior year.
Anthony Robinson. And Hampton 1975 because Mike Smith says it. Now, Jay and Rob, we didn't have you on here last night. So I'm anxious to see Jay talk about the top 4 teams being from Northern Virginia.
Hey, Rob, you go first.
I'm going to go first. I got you, Jay. I got you.
I know he's
96 Crabbers 1. I'm gonna say 08 Phoebus number 2. I'm gonna say Freedom. This 22 team.
Whoa!
I'll say this 22 Freedom team number 3, and I'll give I guess one of them Highland Spring teams, that 4P Highland Spring team.
Yep.
I'll give them number 4. No disrespect to River. You guys got a lot, but hey, I'm sorry, I can't put y'all in that. I can't put none of your teams in there.
Well, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jay, as a guest.
So again, I'm older than you guys.
Yeah, I didn't see I didn't see nothing earlier than like 90, 92.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go number 1. Out of respect, that's true. Hampton 96. Number 2, Hilton 99. Ahmad Brooks.
Yeah. Okay.
Jay Gholson. I think there's a long list of players in that team that played in college and the pros.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go Potomac 89. 7 D1 players: B.J. Hawkins, Stacy Henley, Michael Wardlaw. I mean, I go on and on. Okay. And a tie between.
Did they win the state championship?
No.
Get out of here. They didn't finish the job. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Phoebus 08 tied with Petersburg 1979.
Petersburg 79, man.
They were real good.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I
State
would
champions.
I would like to see some of that. You get the 79 tie with my '08 guys. I'd like to see that.
That was a good team. Yeah, they're state champions.
All right.
Ricky
So,
Huntley was Arizona from that team.
wow.
Okay. All right.
That's a good one, Jay.
No,
Yeah.
it is. I respect it. What you got, Rusty? Who your top?
Mr. Bird. Hey, look, he's doing his research right now.
They
Man.
gonna say the 92 Bruins.
Bruins. No, I would go with the 74 Bruins. We beat Woodbridge.
Oh yeah. 74,
And only
76,
completed
92.
14 passes all year. Just running the wishbone, dog. All right. No, so just so y'all are aware, I will go with Hampton 96. I mean, I just because they did it for 4 years.
They have a national championship.
They have a national championship.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's with private schools. It's a big point.
They actually have 2 national championships.
Yeah, that's right.
They had different polls, but they were 2 national championships. All right. Now, I will also say Highland Springs 2015 team that had the kid that went to Clemson, Kevon, I think. They got 4 guys in the league right now. They beat Stonebridge. All right. Then I know I actually said, I forget which one I didn't include yesterday. I said Westfield 2017. They were undefeated. That was their 3rd championship in a row. They beat Oscar Smith, who talks all this smack. But I'm gonna take back that Oscar. I'm gonna take back Westfield from yesterday and say, because when I saw this team with my own eyes, and I saw those Westfield teams, Oscar Smith last year, like they had reason to be proud. But the one blemish is, actually, when I think about it, no, I'm taking them off because they lost outside the state. They lost to the California team. I take that back. I forgot about that. I was going by how
That's
they
not
played.
fair, man. That was like the
It is
number 1
fair.
team in the country.
Number 3 team in the country.
They're number 1 this year. They beat Bay.
You embarrassed us, though. No.
All right.
Forget that. So I'm going to go put Westfield back in there. All right. And then my last team is T.C. Williams, 1971. Remember those Titans.
Okay. Hey, my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, all you folks in Lynchburg, Big Rob's taking everybody to dinner. So we're not going back in the car. Now we're going to get something to eat afterwards. So we need a restaurant. I know y'all are all going to want to go to Applebee's, but we're not doing that. So, good restaurants right near the stadium. I've been there before, and the other thing I was just going to say, and I'll let you close this out, Rusty, is I'd take TC Williams 84.
They beat Hampton. They upset Hampton. They were
71, 70 in 1971. Y'all are sleeping on 87 tab.
Terry
No,
Kirby,
88 tab.
Terry Kirby.
Terry Kirby and Chris Slade. And by the way, a lot of other good players.
Yeah.
Everybody always says Kirby and Slade. They had a good quarterback on that team, and they had some good linemen, had a great kicker.
Hey, were they in the PD then?
No, they've never been in the PD.
But that was just Lafayette.
They were in the York River District, and now it's the Bay.
But hold on. You saying that? But that year they beat Hampton head to head.
I said, that was honorable mention. They're one of the best. And then Stonebridge 07, they beat a loaded Phoebus team. Taj Boyd, Dominic Davenport, Markel
Wilkins was a junior.
Markel Wilkins, great running backs. Yeah, that was a really, really good team. And and they were pretty darn loaded also. So that's my Northern Virginia slant. There's probably others I'm forgetting. So
let me just tell you another Northern Virginia team. And people don't think about them because they haven't done anything. And a lot of that has to do with the logistics of the neighborhoods out there. But Annandale has won 6 state championships and was crowned national champion in 1978. Okay. So a little history for you. They won 2 in the 90s, but they won a bunch in the 60s and 70s. I kind of don't give a lot of credit to before integration, but they did it in 78. So there you go. We've only had 3 national champions from Virginia, Annandale and Hampton twice.
Hey, I didn't know that.
Salem, Virginia is another good one. So
yep.
You've got a bunch of titles.
Man. Yeah, man. Hey, look. Hey, Jay, good luck Saturday, man.
All right.
Look, when you come down here, man, I know it's not my side of the water, but tell them Rob.
Hey,
man.
Rob.
Hey, Rob from Phoebus. You're going to ODU. So I know some people there. I might call my peoples at ODU and tell them my guy Jay Gholson is in the house. And yeah, man.
Jay, hold on. Now, how they gonna do with that bus ride? I mean, you gotta travel.
Okay, let me tell you.
Going down there the night before, or you're getting up in the morning.
And they gotta
let me tell you.
160 miles.
Cheese bus.
It's irrelevant because it's a 4:30 kickoff, so you can leave at 10 o'clock in the morning, relax, get there at 1:30, 2 o'clock, stretch, eat.
But no, because Madison got an extra 35 minutes to drive, y'all got the advantage.
They're going on Friday night. Madison's going on Friday at a 5-star hotel.
Hey, look, man, bring the guys down, man. Take on the water side.
Man, bring them down Friday night.
Hey, that newer Marriott downtown Norfolk is awesome. If Freedom or Madison is staying overnight, I don't know if they are.
Madison is.
Downtown Norfolk is awesome, man.
I stayed at that Marriott for work one time. It is
not a whole lot of change. Great restaurants. Walkable, but
be careful what neighborhood you might be one block over.
I know. I heard.
That's the whole thing. If you take Hampton Roads, word to the wise, in the city of Hampton, and Norfolk's the same way. I know it is. You can't go from one good neighborhood to another good neighborhood without going to a bad neighborhood. That's just and the space between Ghent and ODU, you got to be careful. Colley Avenue and those places, and then if you go the other way from Ghent, be careful. So that's it.
Yeah.
Look, hey Jay, and also, man, like we said, we got to talk about next season's schedule too. So we might.
Oh yeah.
We might can work something out.
Call Jeremy.
Don't worry.
I'm calling him out.
703 people. And I don't think the Freedom people are gonna be worried, but just stay on ODU's campus. Everything you need is right there. All right.
All right. So just one more thing. Madison, we're gonna have another show that's gonna inverse this. We're gonna talk about Madison and just we'll do
and Kettle
Freedom
Run.
and Freedom.
And Kettle Run.
And Kettle Run. So for Kettle Run, we're gonna get somebody to talk about Kettle Run's playing Dinwiddie. So what we're going to do is we've had quite a bit with Dinwiddie, but we'll get somebody who knows Kettle Run really well and want to get that.
Hey, Rob, I told you got Kettle Run, John. They got you
Kettle Run all year, man. You definitely been saying Kettle Run.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right,
I'm sticking with them too.
Teaser: best public high school basketball team in the history of Virginia was the 87-88 Patrick Henry Roanoke team that beat Alonzo. Alonzo did not win. And Alonzo had some players on this team. That was a team. That's another one. And by the way, Hoops is starting. Rusty and I, we got a bunch of coaches we're going to talk to. Hoops is a little different than football. I think it's more conducive to talking to a player during season because they've got 2 games a week. But we try to be careful with players in season. But yeah, we're going to be talking to Maury. We'll be talking to Hannah Springs. We're talking to Menchville. Up here, talking to
Kickerton.
We're talking.
Listen, Woodside.
Yo, they beat Kickerton. No, they lost.
Woodside handled Kickerton. But we got some great teams up here. You can't play that 7-5-7.
They lost to Hayfield Saturday.
They lost to Hayfield.
Yeah.
And hey, Kirk, I know it's just recent, but some of the best teams also. I think Hayfield might want to give you some. They were undefeated and they beat a lot of private schools.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is John Marshall has had some legendary teams over the years.
Cave Spring is a great team. Their coach said he wants to come on. I'm sure we'll get Coach Rivers at Patriot. I'm sure we'll get Coach Poindexter.
The other one you cannot forget about is Martinsville had a run in the 80s.
I know.
But so did the Brunswick.
That was
Brian Smith.
Yeah, Brunswick had some good teams. And Petersburg's had some ballers too. So
Frank Mason.
All right, close us out. We're at 54 minutes. We are under an hour. All right. Rusty?
All right. Hey, look, Y'all, we gave y'all the real, okay? All right, now, Jay is our PWC expert, and you heard his picks. Rob is 757, but he also knows his stuff, so he gonna keep it real. And then we got my co-host, Kirk Hilliard, spitting that fire and keeping us on track. All right. But I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. Look, y'all were asking for this. We might be a day or two late, but you gonna get it. All right. We put out an episode. We put out 2 episodes yesterday. Like, we about gonna have something for you every day. And so again, if you're at ODU or if you're at Liberty on Saturday, say hi to any of us. And say you saw us on the show. We appreciate it. Man, we got so much love on Saturday, man. I appreciate the Western branch. I met Mark Rags there. I met Demetrius Cook. Say hi to us, man. We appreciate it.
Man. Speak to the guys, man, and subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Subscribe
So
button,
we
man.
can break A-Rob off a couple of dollars.
Before you close us, Rusty, Rob, I'm not trying to be funny. If you pick me up like 6 or 7 or 8 Wilkes barbecue sandwiches with coleslaw, I will hook you up, dude.
Hey, look, I might bring you one. I don't know about 6 or 7, but I might stop.
No, just wrap them in. Come on, man, hook a brother up. I don't need the little soda. I used to get that in a soda for like $2, man. A nice sandwich. So there you go.
I got you. I'll go grab one. I'll grab one on because I don't know what day I'm coming up, but I'll grab you one. I got you, Kurt.
Hey, Coach Newsom had a party in Abington, catered by Wilkes Barbecue.
No, yeah. Hey, Jay, you get Hampton, man. Hit me up. We'll slide through there. All right.
So, folks, I'm coming to 757, and I'm gonna get some yak. And if you ain't from there, you don't know what it is. But if you is, you know what it is. All right.
Yeah, so man.
Look, thank you guys. Thank you to the Kirkenberg fans. Please comment on the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and then comment on Facebook when we post this. Appreciate you, boys. Y'all know your stuff. Love you dudes, man. We are